Our family, you know, we've always did this. We actually raised and butchered our own hogs. Growing up, I can remember a long time ago, you know, as a youth, with my grandparents and then my uncles and everybody out doing it. All the guys would be out there butchering, you know, and cleaning up the hog, cutting up the hog, cooking it. The women would be inside, you know, cooking everything else. You always had, you know, your fry bread, your biscuits, your beans, your taters. But those are the most common things that is cooked with this hog. I don't know why it is, but you know, that's a lot of natives, a lot of Cherokees. That's their choice, you know. That's their 5-course meal, so to say. I've been around this thing all my life, and just in the past few years, I've recently started taking it upon like myself to do it like solo. I've helped out quite a bit here and there, just because of the knowledge I've gained over the years. Hopefully I can master it one of these days, and then I'm also going to pass it down to my son. So hopefully my son will, you know, carry this on. You know, this is just like how I always taught, how my elders showed me how to do it. About every grocery store, you know, around, you can call, order it. A lot of times if you order it and then, you know, they don't cut it right, so I'd rather do it myself. I cut it smaller so that it cooks a lot faster. I don't season it or anything overnight. I just, you know, just package it up and let it sit. Whenever I cook, I come out here, prep my fire, you know, get my coals good and hot and burning and everything, you know, that way whenever I put my pot on, I'll throw the shortening in there. I think there was 20 pounds in there. I might use about a tub and a half. Let it melt down, and then once it gets to a certain temperature on the tester, once you put that one piece in there, that meat will turn white and that water will start to come out of it. Then that's when you know your grease is good and hot and ready, because if you don't, you put it in there, it's not going to start cooking right away. Wait till that grease gets good and hot there. Add your meat, and then once it starts cooking, you have to kind of really pay attention to it, because this meat will kind of, just like anything you cook in a pan or a pot or whatever, it's got a tendency to stick on the bottom. So you have to kind of stir this quite a bit. But that meat there, it's very watery. So as it cooks, that water comes out and it boils, and it'll create its own grease, so to say. After a little bit, you know, we'll look and you can see that the texture of that meat starts changing, and then the color of the grease will start changing. And then that meat will actually shrink, and it'll look like there's more water and grease in there than before. And then the salt ratio I do is, I like to do mine like quite a bit, because I like the salt flavor. But a lot of people don't, so I'll kind of be timid on it a little bit, enough just where I can just barely taste it. This is right at 15 or 20 pounds, so it should take roughly 2 hours to cook, an hour and a half. Kind of have to just play it by ear, so to say, and once it gets that close to the end, about 3/4 of the way, you'll see that meat gets kind of like a gummy, like a rubbery look to it as it's cooking. There, I like to cook mine real slow, so that way, you know, it's got that good texture to it. I've noticed in my years of cooking that a lot of Cherokees like it that way, instead of the hard, because if you don't cook it right, you know, you're gonna get some criticism from somewhere, and then that's not really good. If you're trying to do things I like to do as far as, you know, cooking, and then, you know, I'm for hire, so to say. If you want to hire me to come cook, you know, at your anniversaries, your birthdays, I'm willing to do that. I've been doing this ever since I was a young one, and I'll be 40 years old this year, so I mean, I've been doing it quite a while. As far back as I can remember, you know, I've been around cooking a hog.